Hello, everybody. I guess this is another take two day. I don't know what sometimes they take and they record, and sometimes they don't. It's weird. Make sure I haven't turned you off. It looks like it's on. So we'll give it a shot, see what happens. I think I'm going to try a new title. I'm not getting very good results. My biggest day, I got 11 people. Excuse me. 11 people in one day. There's some people post little things on here and they get 1,000 in a day. I don't know what it is. Maybe my topic is just not one people are interested in. So they call it a niche. We'll try another title and see if that will create a spot people have an interest in. So I'm basically a 61-year-old man who lives in a small town in Oregon and has had a stroke and does crappy things like woodworking and has stories from his life he could share. So I think I'm going to steer away from the stroke part. As much as I'd like to inform more stroke people what's going on, I think I'm going to try to get them just, if they come across an old fellow talking and they hear he's had a stroke, they'll listen. Hate to say, but stroke's one of those things that people really don't talk about much. I was shocked how little there is in America. Anyway, somebody said that there's really only like 8,000 strokes a year in America. It gotta be higher than that. That's not very much at all. What's that? If you take 50 divided into 8,000, it's like math isn't as good as it used to be. But it would only be we'll say around 100 per state. That can't be right. I can get that many just in this county. So we'll see. I'll look into more. It's got to be a bigger number. But still, something people don't talk about much. They don't see much interest in it. They're just a poor person that had bad luck, and then they don't realize a lot more strokes than that. And then after I had a stroke 8 years ago, I'm kind of an expert. Don't exactly want to use being a stroke as an expert, but I kind of am. So I'll just talk about things that I'm doing and ways that might help people, passing on language. Like I'm gonna make some box here. Spill my coffee. I lost the whole laptop that one time. I brushed my cup of coffee, it went across the keyboard, and that was it for that computer. It just in post. This thing is, they call it most people call them a sewing box, but it's neat because it opens up like that, and then it swings open like that on both sides, and you got a whole bunch of area to work with. Everything's spread out. You just grab what you need. When you're done, you just close it up, put it off somewhere until you need it again. So I'm gonna make some of these. Today, what I'm gonna do on them, kind of a big prelims, is the hinge. I'm gonna make my own hinges out of wood, and I'm hoping to be able to use a nail for the center pin that basically runs through the length of a hinge. Most people who do wooden ones do it with a dowel rod. I'm going to try it with a nail. I got a whole bunch of these. If it works, it'll be a way to make hinges really inexpensively. And I got tons and tons of pallet stuff. So I'm trying to find ways to use pallets creatively. And some of the projects I'm working on, says steps made with pallets. I call a pallet eater. You eat up lots of pallets to make them, but they make a nice product. And the pallets are free. It's mainly just my time and effort in order to make it. There's nothing involved in them. But this thing is small. I got it from Temu, Temu. They're notorious for showing us things neat, make it sound great. When it shows up, it's real tiny. Which this doesn't bother me because this makes a nice model. I just take the dimensions for different things and make them bigger. Like on this compartment here, I'll make this part the width of a pallet, which is about double that size. Same thing with this down through here, double the size. It should make a box about like that far across, and where this one is 20 inches all the way opened up. I think that's what I came up with. That'll make it closer to 40 inches. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's almost the width of my whole desk. But if you're working on something open like that, you got a whole space to put your tools in. Open it up, and you've got them all ready to roll. You put them back, and it folds up to pretty neat little package. Really, I might get rid of the handle. Because without the handle, you could stack these on top of each other. So, I don't know. I'll think of something. I might go with more recessed handle, where you can still pick it up, but you won't have it would be able to stack. Or maybe put the handles on the sides, pick it up, because it'll be bigger than this. We'll see. The first one will be just a larger version of this, and then go from there. But you can make all sorts of things with this. I mean, this one kind of excites me because people can use this for a tackle box, mechanics can use it for tools, or some trade, where they need to have their tools in the easy to get box, sewer, woodworker. It's got a lot of uses. Anybody who has lots of small parts but don't want to have to hunt them up, they're all in here. I mean, I've tried lots of different art forms to find an art form I like. And I kind of settled back into the woodworking again, which is my original thing I did. I did woodworking for most of my life. I was trying other things to see if I like. I'm making things out of clay, an air-dried clay called porcelain clay. And kind of having semi-results with it, but I'm trying. But all the different tools for making the clay, the stamps and stuff, could all go in a box like this. When I go make something, it's opened up. There's all the the things I need to put them in. Like I got these stamps that are stamps from the clay. Put in a box like that, and I just open the box up, pull out the stamps I want to make images of that day, and away I go. So it's got lots of possibilities. And I'll share you with that, you guys, as time goes by. I'll see what happens, and as I go by, I'll share stories and things that have happened to me in my past. Maybe it'll help you not have it happen to you. Like the copy thing with the computer. I learned the hard way. You don't let copies sit too close to a computer. This is what they call a Chromebook. Or old days we used to call it a laptop. But you want to make sure that copy stays away from that computer because they do not mix. I mean, the keys are all sticky afterwards and stuck and wouldn't operate real good. And I ended up having to buy a whole nother Chromebook. Luckily, they're not super expensive. It's still a little bit of money. It was $200 for one of these things, but I have enough left over after I pay all my bills to cover something like that once a month. If I'm out of money, but I could do it. That's what I had to do. This is something I usually buy every couple of years, just to get the more modern version. And they wear out. They're kind of made that way. Like a lot of things in life, they're not made to last a long time. Like a coffee maker. We came across an inexpensive coffee maker at Walmart. So we bought two of them. And my girlfriend has an apartment in Portland. She doesn't stay at, but she still pays the rent on it and keeps it because she likes having it. Security, I understand. But we put one more maker here and one up there. We only go up there a couple of days a month. But it was kind of nice to just take a pod, pop it in there, and you got the same copy as at home as up there. Well, The odds. After a year, the one here broke down. It wouldn't work. So we had the one up in Portland we never used. We brought it down, and it lasted a year, and it broke down. Now, Walmart doesn't longer have several. At least our Walmart doesn't have different versions of coffee makers. They have just one kind mainly, and they're all right. I can't remember the name. It's a big name, but they really didn't have the same model we had before, which is just basically you put the pot in, you hit a button, and it makes a cup of coffee. Nothing fancy, no specialties or nothing, just a nice cup of coffee. That's all we wanted out of it. So I ended up ordering one on the computer, and it came in. It's run pretty good so far. It's got a clear reserve in the back, so you can see how much water you got in the pot, which is nice because the other ones you poured it in the machine, you know how much water you had in the coffee maker. So far we've had it for about a couple weeks, and it makes a decent cup of coffee. Little piece of information that I found is those pods will do stove coffee. I didn't think about that, but when it broke down, I wanted a cup of coffee, and we had all these pods. We buy 100 pods at a time in a box. And I took a pot, and I opened it up, and I put it in pan of boiling water and let it boil gently for like 10 minutes. And then I ran it through a sifter like this, and it came out, and it was not a bad cup of coffee. Not as good, but close. To the point where after a couple weeks of drinking, I was starting to get used to it when we got the new machine come in the mail. But so if your machine breaks down, you can make. I ended up early this morning, but you can use coffee pots. Just simply, what I did is I took a cup, filled it full of water, dumped it in the pan to give me an idea how much water I needed. Add a little bit extra, just because you always have a little bit boil off. And then open the coffee pot, pour it in there, and stir it around with not a finger, but with a spoon, until the coffee grounds are fairly coated, and then start off on medium to get it cooking. And then once that's done that for a couple minutes, then turn it up to more higher temperature until it's boiling. And let it boil for a couple minutes. Take it off. Run your coffee water through this to catch the grains, and you got a cup of coffee. It's not quite as good as the machine, but close. I mean, it does when you don't have anything else way to make a cup of coffee. So I'm just pointing that out. It does work. We went up to her place up there. There's no machine up there this time, but I remember that trick. So I she has pots and pans. I boiled some on the stove, ran it through a sifter, and I had a decent cup of coffee. So I'll let you know. And I guess I'll let you guys go at this point. Let's see if this one will work. I won't get a third take. So I hope you all have a good day and take care of each other. Remember, it pays forward. If you do something nice to somebody else, eventually it'll come back to you. All right. Talk to you later.